Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate InvestHER Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
Welcome back to the Real Estate InvestHER Show. And we have a mini-sode edition here upon us. Very excited to jump into stopping doing everything yourself, which is a very loaded topic, right, Andresa?
Indeed.
Okay, Andresa. So we're kind of in the throes of changing up our mini-sodes because one of the things that Andresa and I have always done, and we really appreciate, is kind of getting into conversations and kind of like banter back and forth on a lot of different topics. And we do that a lot offline. And we love our mini-sodes. We like pack a lot in, and we always have. But we're like, we're going to change some things up. We're gonna give content. We're going to give value, of course. We're going to have a little more back and forth because I think that also offers such a value to her thinking, my thinking, and kind of what makes our connection really helpful and useful for all of you listening. So today is all about stop doing everything yourself. How to do that, what comes up. I mean, we probably need a whole day workshop for this conversation, but we're gonna get into it, at least for our mini-sode, and give you some thoughts and some strategies to take away. So, Andresa, what comes up for you when you think about what gets in the way of, why women have a hard time stopping in their life doing everything themselves?
Well, because we are very well trained to do that, right? We what goes inside our head, if you guys could get a pic, is just crazy because we have different things going on. My mom always say women have different boxes and they are all interconnected. So if we're talking about a subject that is connected to something else, and we have different schedules going on, and we know what's going on with every single person, what needs to happen, and all of that. So we are very good at not delegating and not asking for help. And of course, that unconsciously would translate that to real estate. And the kicker is that at the moment that you understand that you shouldn't be doing everything by yourself, it's just like, wait, so how can I structure my company in a way that I don't do that? And I will ask you one question. What is the impact in your business, in your family, in your legacy, if you continue doing everything by yourself? What is the impact on you? Like, I was a maniac. I can totally say I was like an addict, like workaholic, 5 a.m., and go until I am like done. But as I get older and more, mature and wiser, I would say, and surround myself with the right people, there's no other way. It's just a different game when you start delegating. It's like going to you're passing the level. You go to the next level, you're not doing everything. And to be quite honest, it's a pleasure not do everything by myself. And I didn't think that I would feel that way. I thought I will feel anxiety and like freaking out, and people are going to be in charge. There are things that I don't know how it's done. I just get the results of it, and I'm totally fine because I am focusing on what I'm very, very good at only.
Love that. And I think this is this is easier for some women. I think it's harder for a lot of women, and I think, there's a lot to this. And I think guilt comes up. I don't know about you, but like there's this whole piece around guilt and feeling like worthy, and almost like letting go of certain things, I think does have this like, well, I can do this. I can clean my house. I can, talk to these people, and I'm good at it. And those are the harder things sometimes to let go of, like the things that we're actually good at. People always talk about letting go, right? Of the things we're not good at. I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. Do you think that there is an association like, okay, if I do it, I have a value, or I'm worthy of it. Absolutely. If I don't do it, what what am I doing here? So there's do you think that there's a need to be needed?
Yeah, I think there's a huge need to be needed, and also feel like that's the value that I have, or I'm just used to doing it. There's a lot around that. And I think it's sometimes very, very unconscious. I don't think we all are. I could speak personally. I think I'm always aware of, why I'm so attached to doing a certain thing. As I've gotten older too, right? Little older, a little wiser, especially as the 40s came upon us both.
Yeah.
I think you become like, let me ask myself, and I use this example, but like having someone to help me cut the grass seems like such a no-brainer for so many people. But for me, it wasn't a no-brainer because it was something that I physically could do. And I saw my father still cuts his grass. He's 75. He's got more money than he knows to do with. I mean, he's very, both my parents aren't like exuberantly rich, but they're very well, they have money put aside. Like he's got money to pay someone to cut his grass. There's no question, but he cuts his grass. And so my point is we have to really look inside ourselves why we're attached to doing things. And it comes back to like, upbringing and not to excuse it, right? Not like, oh, I was always this way and this is how I was raised. Okay. But it's really helpful to know why you're the way you are, get really clear on that so you can move past it. I know for me, it's like this hardworking nature. Like if I don't do it myself, I don't almost deserve time off. It's
it's like
weird.
A default, right? You already came with that default.
Yeah.
Planned out. I think for me, what motivates me to retrain myself and unlearn certain things is the legacy, right? I really don't want my son to continue certain things that my parents did.
Yep.
And I want him to see a different lifestyle and different things. I want to talk about like when women in real estate, particularly, the reasons why they don't hire, the reasons
I was just
why
thinking that too.
Yeah, a couple of things that come to my head is like, number one, I'm not big enough. My company is not big enough. Second, we cannot afford a salary or benefits or certain things. And the third one that I've heard is that we don't have process and systems in place. So it's embarrassing. How can I hire somebody? And those are all stories, right? Those are all stories. You won't get, number one, you won't get bigger. You're going from smaller to medium to bigger size if you don't start hiring. So you can really focus on growth. You're going to be like scanning things and cutting paper and sending smaller. I always say this word and Liz, like, don't say that. Like quote unquote mindless tasks that you do not need your core genius to do it. Right? Absolutely. It's just not. So that's the number one. You cannot hire somebody or pay a salary. We're not talking about paying salary. Let me ask you a question. Can you buy somebody's hours, like 2 hours this month? I bet you can. And I'm telling you, what you're going to do with those 2 hours is going to motivate you to buy more hours. So you have more time. And the third one, the SOPs and process in place. I changed my opinion regarding this. I thought before, like, listen, we're going to have it all set up, good to go, and then hire somebody because I'm damn good at that. Right. But I don't think is the case with a lot of people. And I don't want that to be holding you back. So hire somebody, hire a VA that can put that together for you. Because guess what, my friend, you haven't put that together yet from the past 6 months. You're not going to do it. Somebody else needs to do it because you just can't stand that. But don't let that hold you back.
Yeah. And it can feel overwhelming. Like, some women listening to this could be like, there's so many things I need to let go of, right? There's so many pieces, right? And it's like overwhelming, but it's like a muscle. It's like when you go to the gym, like you don't just go run 26 miles, right? You don't just sign up for a marathon and literally run the marathon next day.
I wish.
That would be awesome.
That would be good for me. I want to just keep the training.
Sidebar, we're going to get you in a marathon.
Jesus Christ, don't say that out loud.
Yes, I'm saying it out loud. You're going to do it with me. I've only done one. I want to do another. That was in my 30s too. So I got to like I gotta like step it up now that I'm in my 40s.
We're gonna be the ones in the back, like
yeah, that's all right. I finish it, But where was I going with my thought process? Oh, when you really start to say, okay, what's one thing in my personal life that if I found a who, right, would really give me such fulfillment and joy, and I can redirect that time in another way. Like answer that question for yourself personally, and then look at your business and say, what one area of my business that if I had someone helping me do this, God, it would relieve such a drain and a stress, because that's like that's like building your muscle. Then it's like you get those people going, those two people. I know for me right now, it's hiring someone to clean my house. I clean my house. I've always cleaned my house. I do it. And I'm like, what am I doing this for? I'm like, I know it's such a simple thing. And I will share with everyone once I do that just to celebrate. But that's one thing personally. Professionally, things that Andresa and I are working on, adding more support to our team is something. So ask yourself that. Stop this mini-sode as we wrap up. Answer that question for yourself, personally, professionally. Just one area of those two parts of your life, and what would bring you joy and fulfillment, and then you could redirect that time in other ways. So that is your homework for this week. And we hope this was helpful, and do something with this. And we so appreciate you being part of our journey with us.
Yes. Ciao.
If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our InvestHER community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.